There's so much going on in sports right now. I'm loving it. This is a great time. Obviously, March Madness this week, and like you said in the text, like from what we're watching, we could have a whole conversation on just what we're watching.
Yeah. And just this past weekend, I did a lot of sporty things too. Like I went to the state finals for Division I basketball here in Michigan. Rockford beat East Lansing for the Division I title. Kyle Clough of Corona is their coach, who I remember when he was like playing in high school. Leads the Rockford Rams to the state title championship against East Lansing. Kelvin Torbert's son was there, Mr.
I think
Basketball.
Torbert plays for East Lansing, right?
Yeah, EJ or KJ Torbert. He's going to Bowling Green, which I guess is where Mr. Basketballs go in Michigan now. They don't go to Michigan State. Really? They don't go to Michigan. They go to Bowling Green. So my dad was like, he's going to go play for Tum Tum. Tum Tum Nairn is an assistant coach there, which I didn't realize. So anyway, he's a good shooter, but he's not super duper.
I was gonna say, what made him Mr. Michigan basketball? He doesn't seem like he's not like his dad's caliber.
Right.
Is it we have a really weak class this year?
I guess I saw Kelvin Torbert play for Flint Northwestern when he was a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
Desmond Farmer was a sophomore in high school. They went to the state finals. I can't remember if they won or not. This was like in '98, I think. Yeah. And so he was an amazing athlete, and who I think he also won Mr. Basketball, went to Michigan State, and he didn't really live up to the hype. I don't even think he played in the NBA or barely at all.
I don't think he made. He played overseas. I don't think he got any time in the NBA.
Yeah, he's a big boy now. If you've
Dude, he was, and it blew me away when Jackson, because KJ is the same age as Jackson, and in middle school we played in like AAU tournaments, and so we had the family. The family had like KJ Torbert, Mateen Cleave's son, Andre Hudson's son. Like there's a lot of athletic kids, super good. But I saw Kelvin Torbert as the first time I saw him, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, he's like 320 pounds.
Yeah. And he came out when they presented the Mr. Basketball. They did it right before the game. Or no, it was weird. It was like at halftime or after the first quarter, kind of at a weird time. They presented the Mr. Basketball to him, and Kelvin was out there with him. And so Hudson's son was on the team last year, but graduated, and I forget where he's going. He's playing college basketball somewhere. David Thomas's son is their second best player. Very good. He's number 11. He's got the same mannerisms as his dad. He's not as skinny as his dad was, but David Thomas was instrumental in that 2000 team that won the national.
He was like a gadget guy. He could do basically everything. Yeah. Defensive player, had good size, good wing.
Yeah, he was tall, really lanky, and he wasn't. I think he was an assistant coach at Michigan State for a long time.
Is he still?
No. David Thomas Kelly is.
I know Thomas Kelly is. Sadi Washington, who didn't play with us, but
and then Doug Wojcik, I think are the three main ones. But so that was fun, and then Johnny Vitel's Freeland team also won the Division II state championship. So another two Corona guys, which is kind of cool.
Well, and it's cool, and we talked about John Vitel, a few episodes ago, a couple episodes ago, and so it's so cool. Like we were talking about here a couple seconds ago, going over to Miss Fratel's house and and finishing the school newspaper and stuff like that, and Johnny's running around probably like 2, 3, super young, and so it makes me feel really old when I see these pictures of this grown man in these pictures and winning a state championship. That's awesome.
I remember I was subbing in Corona when I was getting my teaching certificate, so this had to be 2008, 9. He was an 8th grader. I think that's right. And I remember he was in one of my classes. And then I also volunteered for the middle school track team, and I think he was on that. Yes. Yeah. So I saw him like as a little kid, and then as like a adolescent or whatever, like 13, 14 years old, and now he's like
he's a grown man.
He's probably about, I don't know, early 30s, I would guess. Something like that. So yeah, it's kind of weird how time goes by. Like because it's like doesn't seem that long ago, any of that stuff.
It's crazy. It's it doesn't seem that long.
Like I remember volunteering for the track, when I went into Fatel's office and talked to him because he was the principal at the middle school at the time, and so we just chatted about what we were going to do, and I met the head coach, and That was it was a good experience. It was kind of awkward because I I went like every day after school and just kind of helped out here and there with the track. And then during the games, during the meets, I would like do the start. I would press the button to like start the timers. So I was like all nervous, like making sure. And then I would do like the high school game, whatever. I was up in the press box helping out volunteering, so that was cool.
Well, and so what's cool, like even with this situation and kind of how it all ties and connected, and going back to like the sports connection is John Patel won the 1983 state championship with Corona, and then he coached Kyle Clough, and they went far. They didn't make the state championship. I want to say they made Breslin.
You know what? I just found out they did the Final Four and they lost, I think, on the Final Four.
Final
They didn't win
Four.
the championship game. Right?
And on that team, no. So that was Kyle Clough, and then Kyle Clough ended up becoming a coach at Corona,
Right.
and he coached Johnny Patel
Probably
on his team, and they made it really far. And then now they both won a state championship in the same weekend, Kyle Clough and Johnny Patel. That's pretty crazy.
How cool is that? So now there might be some players on those teams that will end up coaching. Just keep it going. So
keeping the coaching tree going.
Yeah, and then it's expanding out to like Grand Rapids area and the Saginaw area with Freeland. So that's pretty cool.
That is really cool.
So that was Saturday, like around noonish. I think that game was. So we did that, and Sam had his first. Our 14-year-old freshman had his first lacrosse like scrimmage outside for the high school team. He's played with a bunch of different teams, but now he's with the Howell JV team, and they had 4 scrimmages, like little 30-minute scrimmages at Brighton, and they won 3 of them. He scored a goal, so that was pretty exciting. It was cold, so we did that. And then I ran in the Detroit Corktown 5K on Sunday.
Hell yeah.
You're looking at the 656th best runner.
Let's go.
It was out of almost over 2,500 people.
This clip is dedicated to the guy that said that we're just two white athletic guys talking about sports.
That's right. Is that what somebody said? Is there a comment like
someone
that?
on TikTok was like, "Great, this is what we need: two unathletic guys talking about sports." And I was like, "Hey, is that because we're white?" I didn't get a response back.
Yeah, so that it's true. This is quite an original format here. Yeah, so I got 75th percentile though. I'm pretty excited about being the 75th percentile of finishers. Awesome. 62nd percentile of men. I'm a little better than that, but whatever. 29:14. I ran a 29:14 5K out there. Everybody, whoever runs 5Ks. Last year I ran a 29 even, so I went 14 seconds slower. I'm pretty annoyed with that. It's on the same race.
How was the weather? Was the weather different?
Weather was colder this time, windier this time.
Yeah.
The wind, once you get going, the wind honestly didn't even bother me because it was super windy on Sunday. But
yeah, Sunday was
crazy.
Insane.
But for some reason, I 3/4 of the way through the race, I realized I forgot about the wind. Like the wind wasn't even bothering. There's a lot of, along Michigan Avenue and in Corktown and Detroit, there's some kind of tallerish buildings. So maybe that sort of helped, but it wasn't that a big deal at all. And then one other thing I have to mention. This was a busy Monday night. Have you ever heard of the Cowboy Junkies before?
No.
That band, yeah. The Cowboy Junkies. They had a song called Sweet Jane that reached pretty high in the Billboard charts.
Okay.
It's a Velvet Underground cover. Anyway, we saw them at the Arc in Ann Arbor. Have you ever been to the Arc in Ann Arbor? The greatest place to ever watch a concert. It's like 200, maybe 250 seat place, very small. And we were in the second row. It's so cool. I love going there and watching some music. So it was great.
That's awesome. It's a busy week.
Yeah.
There's so much going on. So you've like, that's really cool getting out to the state championship. And I know that you go and you see a lot of like between football, basketball. You see a lot of live.
I didn't know I was going to go until a couple hours before. I'm like, it just dawned on me like, oh, those games are probably going on today. So yeah, it worked out good.
That's awesome. So NFL free agency has been at its height. That's another thing going on.
That's my next thing.
I hear all the guys complaining about the Lions and how Brad Holmes doesn't know he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean they did go 15-2, just 2 seasons ago. So let's give them a break. It'll be fine. I think they know what they're doing. But I understand the frustration, like because they're not getting any really big free agents. I mean they've picked out some.
I saw a really good take though that was talking about all the Lions fans complained when we signed like the guys like Amik Robertson and all these like filler guys, the short contracts, and that are just kind of like lackluster. And now we're complaining that they're leaving and we're replacing them with lackluster guys. And so like I'd have to imagine there's a plan, and like I don't hate what they're doing though. My biggest thing is filling the offensive line. That's my I'm not even mad about the defensive end. They did get defensive end yesterday.
Yeah, I saw what was it?
DJ Will.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I've never heard of him, but his stats are decent. He's he's probably in the same. He's a more experienced version of left. Muhammad had more sacks last year, but this guy's been consistent. He has 30 sacks over his career.
30?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's okay. So they got Isaiah Pacheco. To me, that's the one I like the best.
That's the one I like the best.
Always like Isaiah Pacheco. He's a 7th round pick. I remember when he was at Rutgers, he was like, "Oh, this guy's pretty good." Whatever. I didn't really think about it that much. But then when he was with the Chiefs, it's like, Jesus, this guy is really good. What I like about him is he just busts his ass, man.
Yeah.
He's like David Montgomery, but not quite as strong. But like, he will just bust you in the mouth and just keep going and just fight tooth and nail.
He's got speed. He can catch.
Yeah,
I think that's good. I love how he says, "You can call me Taz." Spin and wreck some stuff.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I saw his opening press conference. His teeth are super white.
Super white. Yeah.
Yeah. He had a really crisp shirt on. Yeah. I was just really impressed with his teeth. So I don't know, but yeah, I think he's gonna be. I've always liked Pacheco, number 10. Good number.
Yeah.
And then Cade Mays.
I think that's a good pickup.
Is gonna replace Glasgow at center.
It's a good pickup, and then we're able to keep Ratledge at the guard, which I think is good.
And then left guard, who'd they get for left?
We have Mahogany.
Scruggs is Juice Scruggs gonna start?
I don't know.
The juice is loose.
The juice is loose. I don't know if he will or not. We have a couple good guards in Mahogany, and then Miles Frazier got some time last year. There was a rookie last year, and I think he'll end up being serviceable. My biggest concern is tackle, and I know we picked up Larry Sorum, but I think he's more of a Dan Skipper replacement than a starting left tackle.
That's what I have is Larry Borum. You know where he went to high school?
Somewhere in Michigan. I know Detroit.
Brother, right. Yep. So he's going to be like the backup there. I'm hearing that he's going to kind of be that's what I have in my notes, that he's going to be the Dan Skipper kind of replacement. And Juice Scruggs. Now remember, Jason, drink orange juice because OJ will kill it. Juice Scruggs is going to probably be left guard, I'm thinking. Well, it'll be interesting. And then they're going to have to draft a left tackle. That'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah.
But I think that's the plan, is to get a left tackle in the draft, which, I mean,
I think so, because the offensive linemen are really overpriced right now in free agency.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
because there's supply and demand.
Who's that? Linderbaum got like a big contract.
Oh, he got a huge contract. Yeah. How about the Ravens sending Max Crosby back, or declining that trade after doing his physical?
You know what I heard today was that he flew to Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore. He gets off the plane. And he's meeting everybody. He's meeting all these people, but he's not meeting the GM or Jesse Minter, the head coach. He's meeting all these like other kind of folks. So he's going through, and they're just like, he walks in and he's about to meet Jesse Minter finally after like a long time of not meeting him. He just thought that was so weird. And then he sees the GM in the like hallway, down the hallway, and he goes, and he's not even looking at him. He doesn't use him. Yeah, that's what I just heard on 97.1 today. It's just like this very bizarre thing where it's almost like they just got cold feet and changed their mind, and then they just said he flunked his physical. So at first I thought, well, the Raiders are just saying that the Ravens backed out because it makes them look better, but really it looks like the Ravens did back out from a lot of things I've heard. That because then when the Raiders come out and go, oh, they just backed out, and then the Ravens like, no, he flunked his physical. So I kind of believe the Raiders, which I can't believe I'm saying this.
I can't believe I'm saying that. I agree.
So I just have a history of being with their owner and that horrible haircut.
Oh my God, he's got the worst haircut. I love the memes that are like, I'm not with him because of his money. It's because of his looks. Because his wife is like this amazing looking woman, and like this guy just looks like Dumb and Dumber.
With his bangs way.
He looks worse than Lloyd Christmas.
Yeah, it is kind of like that, actually. Weird. So I kind of think the Raiders are being truthful about this, and Jesse Minter, and well, he's a Michigan guy, so you know how they are. Kind of weird choices. Michigan coach, look him up.
They had Connor Scanlon in it, I'm sure.
Tyler Conklin, Central Michigan grad.
I like that pickup.
Kind of remember that name. And then he's also from Chesterfield Township area, you know, Detroit. He's going to be tight end. So I thought, oh, they probably got rid of Brock Wright. No, they didn't get rid of it. They didn't get rid of Brock Wright or, Sam Laporta. So I don't know.
And I'm wondering with Laporta, and I just had the last guy play basketball, the guy that cat sits for Sam Laporta.
Now that is something to put on your resume.
He literally probably does. He sold him a car or something, and the next thing you know, he like edged his way in and is now babysitting his cats while he's out of town.
Yes.
So he told me last week, because I was like, What's the deal on Sam Laporta? Is he going to be playing? Like, when you have a back injury, when you have back surgery, that sounds pretty gloom. Your back surgery, like, you don't usually come out of back surgery feeling, 100%. If they're fusing something, like, you're not really moving as athletic. So I was like, what's the lowdown? Is he going to play? Like, is he healthy? And he's like, well, right now he's in Rome with his wife, or with his wife. And so I think he's feeling pretty healthy. I'm like, all right, so that's the inside information from Sam Laporta's cat sitter. You've heard it here first.
Oh my God!
So Sam Laporta, this guy
doesn't have dogs.
No, he has cats. Like, and
dogs?
Anybody with a mustache has cats and not dogs. So.
That's awesome.
So he has, like, this guy was in the middle of, like, I'm getting water in the middle of we stop, we're in intermission in between games, and he's like, here, let me show you Sam Laporta. I'm babysitting his cats. He's got this. He's like, this company sent him out this litter box. It's all high tech, and so he's like showing me his cats going inside this litter box, and like it literally, when the cat like poops, the machine will like tell you what the cat has eaten. Like, it'll tell you its body fat percentage, its weight, what the cat has eaten, if it's a healthy diet, like all that kind of stuff. I'm like, whoa.
I wonder if our 23-year-old has cats, and they're really into their cats. The girl, by the way, no mustache.
No mustache.
But she'd really be interested in that.
Say, women with mustaches are highly likely to have a cat.
So yeah, like I gotta look that up. That's really interesting with all the cat technology.
Cat technology. Can you imagine?
I don't know why. Sam Laporta's cat sitter is so funny to me. That's awesome. Well, I got one thing to say. As long as the Lions bring back DiCaprio Boodle, I'll be happy. That's all I want. Did you know there's a player on their team named DiCaprio Boodle? DiCaprio, like Leonardo DiCaprio, and his last name is Boodle. Bootle.
What does he do?
Oh man, I didn't put any. I don't know. I think he's a defensive player. Let's see here. What does it say? He's pleased to play for the Chiefs. He is, I think, 29 years old, 28, 29. Yeah, isn't that weird?
That's weird.
What a name.
It's weird.
DiCaprio.
Boodle.
Yeah, Boodle. He's 28, and he is a corner.
Oh, corner. Okay.
Yeah, he was with the Chiefs last year. He hasn't really done a whole lot.
Okay.
He's stayed in the league. He's played 21 games in parts of 4 seasons. So, but yeah, I hope they keep DiCaprio just for his name, DiCaprio Boodle. He went to Nebraska.
Okay.
So
we've got a lot of Big Ten guys. We got a couple of Rutgers guys. We got Pacheco, and then
is it Izzian guy?
Oh yeah, the corner. Yeah, safety. Izzian, Christian. Izzian. The worst part about free agents is trying to learn your new players' names.
Roger McCreary is another one.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think I've ever heard of really heard of any of these guys. Like, I sort of heard of Tyler Conklin. Roger McCreary I've heard of.
I'd heard of Conklin for sure. I'd never heard of McCreary. I'd never heard of the defensive end they just signed.
Yeah, the Wooten.
Sorry for
in a year we'll look back at this and be like,
yeah,
how did I know those names?
Yeah, DJ will be on our show, and we'll be like, sorry when we messed up your name.
DJ who?
Woonham?
Oh, that's his first name. Oh, got it. Yeah, I think he was with the Vikings.
With the Vikings. He was with the Vikings, and then he's been with the Panthers.
But my favorite is Juice Scruggs. I think he looks like a lion. I think we said this last time.
Yes.
He sort of looks like a Penny Sewell. I don't know. He just kind of has
He
that
looks a
vibe.
lot like Penny Sewell.
Yeah. So I'm rooting for him. I think he's going to be the left guard, so we don't have to have the Christian Mahogany Miles Frazier experience.
The Coyote Osaki, yeah.
He's all right. But I mean, it'd be good to have like a really good one. You don't have to worry about him, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Yodi was on the practice squad for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. And then, okay, so then those are the guys we gained. Now I was thinking about who did the Lions lose? And so topping the list for me, Alex Anzalone
Yeah.
is gone. Him and, as Mike Valenti calls him, Bob Muhammad. Bob Muhammad and Alex Anzalone are off to Tampa.
I like Muhammad.
Me too. It was good.
I like him. He was not very good on the run, so he was a rotational guy. He couldn't be a full-time guy, and so I heard he was pissed that he didn't get signed by the Lions.
Really?
He made a statement that Brad Holmes should be fired or something like that.
What?
Like
He did?
He was like he shouldn't. He's the guy. What is he doing? And that kind of thing. He said he didn't reach out to him or call him or anything. So he was pretty upset about it. But Anzalone, man. We've got so many good linebackers. It was only natural. We're not going to put a lot of money into him, not the money that he deserves, and so good for him. He gave us great time. I loved Anzalone.
It was good. He was like the leader of that bad defense. You know, they were bad for a couple of years there in 21, 22.
And he was bad, and I felt like he grew. He definitely got better because he was bad.
Right.
Yeah.
In 21, everyone was like, Anzalone sucks, and then 22 was a little bit better. 23 was really good.
Yeah.
So and then so now they still got the guy from Purdue, the linebacker. He'll be coming back. Barnes,
and then Jack Campbell is a beast.
Jack Campbell, of course.
Really, when we drafted Jack Campbell, Anzalone's days were numbered.
And they played together.
6'5".
Was it 3 seasons they played together?
Yeah,
that's not bad. Yeah, Jack Campbell's really what a great draft pick that was.
And Rodrigo's been unreliable because of injuries, but I love that guy too, and so we re-signed him. That's nice, and so I think we got a good linebacker room.
Roy Lopez is gone.
That was one that I was hoping we'd get back. I thought he was solid.
I know. He's going to the Cardinals. Khalif Raymond.
To the Bears.
To the Bears with Ben Johnson.
Was there another guy that went to the Bears too?
I don't have...
No.
Maybe I don't have that down. Grant Stewart in his long hair.
Yeah, I like Grant Stewart.
The Rams. He was a good special teams guy. Kyle Allen is going to back up his brother Josh in Buffalo.
You didn't even put that together. That is hilarious.
The Allen brothers.
Yeah. But we got Bridgewater back. That's another signing I like. That's for backup quarterback. Were we really comfortable with Kyle Allen coming in at the end of the day if Goff got hurt? I think Bridgewater's serviceable.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He was a Pro Bowl. I didn't realize this. He was a Pro Bowler his second year in the league.
I put no stock into the Pro Bowler. Pro Bowl. I mean, just for example, Shedeur Sanders is a Pro Bowl.
Oh yeah, but I think he actually was good enough to actually make it that year. He was really good early in his career, and then he just kind of became back. I'm not sure if he got hurt or what, but his stats are weird. Like some years he's like playing a ton, and one thing about him, I didn't realize he has an unbelievably high completion percentage. Did you know he's 10th in NFL history?
Wow.
In completion percentage. All the guys are like current players because they used to throw incomplete passes all the time, like George Blanda.
People love the George Blanda clip. That one's killing it.
It's amazing looking at old stats. But anyway, Bridgewater, I didn't realize how good he was doing his completions in Louisville guy. So, and then let's see, who else did we get? Those are kind of our main. Tom Kennedy came back.
Yes.
Tom Kennedy has returned for his 8th season with the Lions.
8 years.
I looked that up. I read somewhere it was his 8th season, but he's only actually played in games for like
maybe 4.
A little less than that.
Yeah. He was signed on a futures contract. I remember in the beginning.
What does that mean?
Basically, they can take these guys they see potential in, and they get to kind of ride the practice squad kind of thing. Which he's done. He's been in the practice squad for 8 years.
He probably has the record of most practice squad like days of anybody.
And I always get confused. Did he play rugby or lacrosse? He was either a rugby or lacrosse. Lacrosse. Sure. Yeah. I'm surprised lacrosse hasn't turned into a pro sport. That's I feel like that's got to be on the uprise.
It is. If you watch ESPN, like on the Ocho of ESPN, you can see lacrosse. I was watching professional lacrosse. It's mostly in Canada. There was one day I watched lacrosse and inline skating, like hockey on like a plastic floor. So there's weird professional sports. I don't know how they make money. I'm sure they don't.
Yeah, which is why Tom Kennedy is riding the Lions practice squad for 8 years.
Yeah, get a decent amount of money doing that. Yep.
But it's actually an entertaining sport when you watch it. It's kind of a combination of football, basketball.
It's fun.
Hockey, with no ice.
It's amazing how good they get. And like watching them improve, like with Sam playing, I can see the improvement they really improve a lot from the beginning to the end. Like just catching, like, and holding on to it while you're getting knocked around a lot. You have to like keep that ball in the net thing. I don't know what it's called. And then you just run and then you're getting hit and the ball goes flying out all the time. So it's
that's a lot of fun.
It's fun. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. He loves it. He just likes the hitting part.
Yeah.
Let's see. Roger McCleary, Tyler Conklin. So yeah. I think we'll be in pretty good shape. Now, NCAA tournament's coming up too.
That's the big one. That's fun. Tomorrow,
State plays at 4 against North Dakota State. Do you know who some notable alumni? I like to do this. Are from North Dakota State. There's some like surprisingly good ones.
All right, let's hear it.
Phil Jackson. Philip Jackson is from North Dakota State.
Did he play basketball there? Obviously?
Oh yeah. Yep. Carson Wentz.
Okay. Yep. That makes sense.
And Trey Lance.
Two really big busts.
Yeah. Similar to, I think Carson Wentz has been a little better, certainly, but
yeah.
He's had a few more years to do it, but yeah. So yeah, they're playing North Dakota State. State's a 4 seed. North Dakota State must be a 13 seed, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Michigan State. So thinking of tournament, how do you fill out a bracket? Obviously already. Mm-hmm. How far do you have State going?
I just did. Not very far. I have them losing. I pretty much picked all chalk this year. I hear it's going to be a lot of chalk. I just have 2 upsets in the first round.
Okay.
So I have State winning the first round and I think maybe the second round. But I have I'm hitching my wagon to the California Baptist Star. I think they're going to beat Kansas. And
right, that's an up.
That's a biggie. And other than that, I'm picking everybody. And then I have Iowa beating Clemson, which that's just a 9-8. But that's what I have in the first round. What about you? Have you done a bracket?
I have not done a bracket yet. I'll be doing it after we get off from here.
I just did it.
Do you? If you want, I have a guy that I play basketball with that does a league. It's $10, and I do it every year. And in Jackson won it a couple of years ago. He won like $500 or something.
No,
yeah, he was like,
it
was his freshman year. He won $500. So he was pretty fun.
So do they give him like cash or what?
Yeah, he Venmo'd it.
I was gonna say Venmo. That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be pretty fun.
It was the year that UConn won it all, and Jackson was like, "I feel good about UConn," and I was like kind of laughing at him. They were not projected that year to win it all. I was like, "Oh, you must know something." And then they won it all that's freshman year. Yeah.
And Michigan is playing the winner of. I think they're playing Howard.
Yes, Howard. Did they win? Howard
beat University of Maryland of Baltimore County. Who with that team?
Yep.
The only 16 seed to win.
Did
you know that they beat Virginia that year in 2018? Did you know that they won by 20 points?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember turning it on and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. I remember watching it too, but I didn't realize it was 20. I knew it was like amazing, like one of the craziest things ever. But Tony Bennett was coach for Virginia that year. I think he's not there. But how does that even happen? How do you lose by 20? Like no one's ever in 41 years of doing this. They're the only team to ever do it.
It's the University of Maryland County. Like California Baptist. It's so crazy. I never even knew some of these. I was looking through the bracket. I'm like, is this real? Is that a real team?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a school called Queens.
I've never heard of them.
That's I had to look that up. That's from Charlotte, North Carolina. So now Howard.
I would have never expected that. I would have thought New York all the way.
Yeah, I was thinking like Queens, the borough. So Howard, did you know that Kamala went to Howard?
Yeah. Yep.
Did you? You knew that?
Yeah.
Wow. Thurgood Marshall.
Thurgood Marshall.
The what was he? What do they call? Yep. Chadwick Boseman went there. That guy, he played Jackie Robinson.
Oh.
I think he passed away from colon cancer.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Claire.
He also played Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Claire
Huxtable.
Not like the actress who played Claire Huxtable.
Which Claire Huxtable on the show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her
Was that
name's-
where A Different World was that?
No, that's a fake college.
Oh, it was Hillman.
Hillman.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Hillman. And Roberta Flack went there.
Okay.
Killing Me Softly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And Marlon Wayans. That's pretty good.
Marlon Wayans. I would have never guessed that one. He went to
Wayans
Howard.
Yep. Which is it sounds like a pretty good school. It's in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's all the Howard people.
Huh.
All right. So you know who I'm not? Okay, so I have Kansas losing in the first round to California Baptist because Bill Self is horrible. Their coach is horrible in the NCAA tournament. Did you know that he's been their coach since 2003? I didn't realize this.
Wow.
I mean, I knew
That's
he's
like
sort
a
of been there a
Mandela
long
effect.
time, but I remember,
when you got to Illinois.
because like to me, he's sort of like Illinois. I think of him a little more with Illinois. He was only in Illinois for 3 years, and then he went to Kansas. He's been there ever since. Yeah,
Since 2000.
I can't believe it's
Wow.
been that long. So yeah, Kansas is not very good in the NCAA tournament at all.
And they've always got a good team. They're just never good.
And they're always very highly seeded, and they always lose. Not always, but the vast majority of the time they lose. So like last year that they lost in the first round to Arkansas. First round, they were a they played a 7, so they were they should have lost because they're playing a 7 seed. No, they were the 7. And they lost to Arkansas, so that was an upset. Then in 2024, they were a 4 seed that they lost to Gonzaga in the second round. So that's 2 times second round. Last year's 2022, good job, Bill. They won it all. They won it all in 2022. 2021, they were a 3 seed. They lost by 34 points in the second round.
In the second round.
Yep, to USC. 2020, there wasn't one. 2019, they were a 4 seed and lost in the second round. They did pretty good the previous few years. 2015, they were a 2 seed. They lost in the second round. 14, 2 seed, lost in the second round. This is crazy. Like that doesn't happen. You're a 2 seed losing the second round over and over and over. 2010, they were in the second round. They were a 1 seed. They lost to Northern Iowa, who was a 9 seed. 2006, they lost in the first round to Bradley.
Wow.
In 2005, they lost as a 3 seed to Bucknell. So they're terrible.
Wow.
In the NCAA tournament. Yeah, yep. They won it all in 22. I'll give them that. And then they went in 2018. They went to the Final Four. So there's a couple of highlights.
Team in 22.
Ooh, good question. I don't. Was that Kelly? The only guy that comes to my mind, Kelly Oubre, maybe. I'm not sure. You'd have to look that up. And now my other bad team, team I always avoid. Well, now I avoid it because I always pick them, and I'm always so pissed because they lose early. Is Arizona. The
Arizona is constantly bad now. Yeah. Back in the early 2000s, they were good.
Arizona, yeah. Well, in 97, they won it all with Mike Bibby. Miles. What was his name? Miles.
Jeez.
Whatever his name was. Miles something.
Yeah.
From LA. He didn't even do that much in the NBA.
No, he didn't.
But
he was good.
You know what I'm talking
I know
about?
what you're talking
He was
about.
good. Richard Jefferson was on
Richard
that team.
Jefferson was on that team. Wow, Lauren Woods. Oh, maybe he wasn't on that team. It was
He was a tall, skinny guy.
the year Michigan State played. They had Jason Richardson, Charlie Bell were their main players. Is Jason Richardson? Their last years, and they played that team. They had Jason Gardner as their point guard. Gilbert Arenas was their shooting guard. Lauren Woods was their center. Richard Jefferson was their small forward. And they had another NBA guy at power forward.
That was 2001.
2001.
I was at that Final Four.
Oh, wow.
It was Duke, Maryland, Michigan State, and Arizona.
Yeah.
So I can never remember who played who. So did Arizona play Michigan State?
Yeah, we lost Arizona.
Yep, I knew that. Because I was trying to sell my tickets and I couldn't get any money for them. Because everyone was trying to sell their tickets. So market wasn't good for that. So we ended up going, and we saw Duke win it all. That Duke team was stacked too. They had Mike Dunleavy and Jason Williams, and Elton Brand and Carlos. Yeah, Carlos.
Brand might not have been on that team because Brand beat us in the Final Four the year before we won the national championship.
Right, but he was in our grade, so he might have left early.
I think he left as I think he left that freshman year, or that either freshman or sophomore year.
Maybe not Brand. But anyway, that was a freaking awesome. Steve Francis was on the Maryland. No, maybe he wasn't. He might have been gone by then. No, I think he was gone by then.
This Kansas team that won the national championship was not a good team. I mean, they're good.
2022?
Yeah.
Who was on it?
So it was 22-23. Was that the championship season?
No, they lost. In 23, they were 1 seed and they lost.
Oh, they lost.
Arkansas
Okay.
In the second round. They always lose early. So who was on did you have the list of who's on?
Grady Dick was their best player.
Grady Dick, that's right. Jeez, that doesn't seem like that long ago.
Bobby Pettiford.
Yeah.
Christian Brown. He plays for the Nuggets now. He's solid. DeJuan Harris.
I don't remember that. I mean, I remember Grady Dick a little bit. But that's about it with that one.
Ochai. Man, this is nobody really turned out to be a pro.
That's what happens sometimes.
Yeah.
But like, not too often. Usually the national champions have a lot of NBA players. Like if you look it up, even way back in the day, they did.
Even State, like they were a pretty, they weren't really loaded with. They had Mateen, Charlie Bell, Morris Peterson, Jason Richardson.
All in Zach Randolph.
Randolph wasn't on the national championship team.
Oh, that was the next year?
Yeah, he was on the next year. And then he only played 1 year.
Yeah.
And then Marcus Taylor left after his sophomore year.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Arizona's horrible. You want to know why? Last year they were 4 seed. They lost in the Sweet 16, which isn't bad. 24, they were 2 seed. They lost in the Sweet 16. 23, they were 2 seed. Lost in the first round to Princeton. 2022, they were 1 seed. They lost in the Sweet 16. They didn't even make it in 21 or 19. So they fired their coach in 21. 2018, they were a 4 seed. They lost in the first round to Buffalo.
Oh my God.
This is Arizona. 2017, they were 2 seed. They lost in the Sweet 16. 2016, they were 6 seed. They lost to Wichita State. 2014, they were 1 seed. They lost in the Elite Eight. They actually do better than Kansas, looking at it. But sometimes they don't even make it. Kansas always makes it. Like 2012, Arizona didn't even make it. 2007, they were 8 seed. They lost in the first round, which, whatever, that's not that big a deal. But yeah, they're high. They're almost always high seeds, and they lose a shocking amount. Yeah. Now, if you look at Duke, they're always do good. Houston lately has been good. Baylor, really good lately. Gonzaga,
yeah. It's cool how these programs like Gonzaga, they don't have any other sport, but they've turned themselves into a basketball powerhouse.
Yeah, kind of like Villanova, like Catholic school.
Yeah, Villanova, a team that does really well in the tournament.
They've been around a while. Just the '85 team. That was probably my very first championship game. I remember NCAA championship. I barely remember the '85 game. That's how crazy I am. Like I kind of knew years before. I mean, no, that's probably my first one I ever remember. Yeah,
85,
87. I remember really clearly, which is weird. Indiana beat Sherman Douglas and Rony Cycli in Syracuse.
Yeah,
heard of it? Whatever.
Yeah, yep. So
yeah, those are some.
Sherman Douglas.
Remember Sherman Douglas, the general?
He played at the Heat for a little bit.
Yeah, he was very small. Rony Cycli was at the Heat. Those are my basketball card years, so I know a lot of
I know, you can think of where they're from.
I can like picture the basketball card. Like, and I know he's from Lebanon.
Yeah.
Rony Cycli was from. So yeah. But yeah, some good memories with the NCAA tournament throughout the years. Almost all of it has to do with Michigan State. And some horrible, heartbreaking things happening with Michigan State.
Man, the Denzel Valentine year.
Yeah.
That was heartbreaking.
What happened?
They lost in the first round was that Middleton?
Yeah, I didn't even. Yes. Yep. I remember I was listening to that. I was in a part. Yeah.
They just hit a team that team was hitting every shot.
I listened to that because I had to work. I was teaching kindergarten at the time. Yeah, that was a tough one. I was in downtown Detroit listening to that game.
This has been one of the number one things about starting my business and being in business is that I can work. It's like the Thursday, Friday of March Madness. I can be at home, getting work done, watching the tournament.
That's what I love about this job that I've had. Since 2021, I've had this job where, I can work from home most of the days. So I'm excited. Tomorrow's going to be awesome.
Because they start early. The games start early. You can't beat the excitement of the first two games of the tournament.
Yeah, it is great.
Unless your team goes all the way.
So then I always think about what was the best college basketball team I've ever seen. What team do you think was the best? Like you watch them, you're like, wow, that is the best team I've ever seen. For college, I don't know, for college basketball, I always kind of gravitate towards that for some reason.
Yep.
I have a couple. They're like,
I feel like the Duke team with Shane Battier on it was pretty good.
Okay. So it was that we didn't even mention him. He was also on that 2001 team. Or did he leave early?
Yeah.
He was in our grade.
Yeah.
Went to Country Day.
He would have definitely been on that team.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was the 2001 team that we were just talking about in the Final Four that I went to. Yeah, that team was freaking awesome. I don't know if you remember. I think it was 2009. North Carolina had a whole bunch of NBA guys, like Rashad McCants, Ray Felton.
Yep.
I don't remember, but I saw them practice.
That was the year we lost them in the Final Four, right?
2000. It was
Tyler Hansbrough.
Yeah.
Psycho T.
Is that what they called them?
They call him Psycho T.
That was at Ford Field that year. And I went and watched them in Villanova practice. You could go and watch them practice for free.
That's
awesome. I was working down there, was I? Yeah. So I was working down there and I went to that, checked that out.
That's cool.
I don't know. Oh, I was, whatever. I went down there and watched that game. Yeah, that was fun. Or I'd watch the practices and stuff. What other games? Okay. So here's my best teams ever. In neither team won it all. They both lost in the championship game. The 1991 UNLV team. So 1990, they were all juniors.
Yeah.
And they destroyed Duke. 91, they were all seniors, and they lost to Duke. It was Stacey Augmon and
Larry
Johnson and
Greg
Anthony, Anderson Hunt from Detroit.
That's the other one I was trying to think of. Yep.
And then that's really all you need. And
that's really all you need.
And then Duke had Christian Laettner and Bobby Hurley and Grant Hill and Thomas Hill.
Those are some teams.
Yeah.
Those are some teams right there.
So to me, that 1991 team was better than the 90 team, even though they didn't win it all.
And then in that same time frame, you had Fab Five.
Yeah, right. 91. Yes. So then how did that go? Oh, so in 91, 92? Yeah. So in 91, the Fab Five went to the national championship both of those years, right?
Yes. Because they lost to North Carolina the second one.
92 and 93. So it was the next year.
Yep.
So 92.
That was the sophomore year. I don't think they made the championship team their first year, did they?
Yeah.
Did they? Yeah. Okay.
They lost to Duke their first year and then North Carolina the second year.
Timeout.
Yeah. Poor Chris. And then my other big team, which is probably under thought of, is the 2021 Jalen Suggs was a freshman.
Yep.
And Drew Timme.
Was Drew Timme on that team too? God, Timme was there for like 7 years.
So that team, I just remember watching them, and I didn't watch it all until they beat Arizona, or they beat UCLA in the Final Four game. But then they ended up losing to Baylor in the championship. But that was the best. That was probably the best team, and from that I've ever seen. That team just played really well together. Andrew Nembhard was another good player on that team.
Yep.
So that 2021. Nobody's in the crowd. They were still doing the COVID thing. So you watch the game and there's just a couple little claps here and there.
That's so weird watching sports and there being no crowd.
And all the coaches, because I just watched it, all the coaches are 6 feet apart sitting in chairs all spread out. And then they're staggered. Some people are in the second row kind of. It's weird.
It's so weird.
So
and it'd be remiss that lost year of COVID, man, who knows what would have happened with Michigan State, but I feel like they were really ramping up to make a good run at it. Cassius and Xavier Tillman. That was a good solid team.
Yeah. So yeah, my earliest memory is the Villanova being Georgetown thing, and but yeah, UNLV. I just remember being like, they're so much better than everybody else. And if you look, I'm pretty sure both of those teams, the '91 UNLV and the 2021 Gonzaga, both teams went undefeated up until that last game.
That last game,
they lost. Both teams lost. So you gotta.
You know, another good team. This was like going back is the North Carolina team with Vince Carter, Antoine Jameson, Rasheed Wallace.
Was that 90?
5 or 6.
Okay, a little bit before that.
Maybe 98.
Well, Vince Carter was a year older than us. He was, or no, maybe he was maybe no. I think he was 95. He was 2 years older than us. So I think it had to be like in the late 90s.
Yeah, it was late 90s for sure.
Yeah, Antoine Jameson, I think, was in the same grade. So yeah, those. Oh my God, Ed Cota.
Ed Cota.
Ed Cota was good.
Yep.
Guy. I don't think he did anything in the NBA, but yeah, that. Oh, I just was thinking about that '93 team that beat Michigan. Eric Montross. Montross, remember him?
Yep.
And Donald Williams. Remember? These guys didn't really do anything in the NBA, but they were.
I can just picture the Sports Illustrated article or the cover of the magazine when they won.
In '93.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the year I had the Sports Illustrated subscription.
You had it 1 year.
I think it was probably a couple years.
No, I don't. Like, I think
that was a big deal then, you know?
Yeah, I remember getting it. Like, it was great because it was every week I think you would get it. Which
Yeah.
Is kind of a lot. It was like, another one's coming. Yeah, so 90.
It was every week, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you used to get it every week, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And then they would have Faces in the Crowd. I always like the Faces in the Crowd talking about the whatever little blurb.
I'll never forget seeing reading Adrian Peterson's face in the crowd when he was in high school.
Oh, yeah. Because, God, yeah, he was just like
he was a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, this North Carolina team that you were talking about had Jerry Stackhouse and Rasheed Wallace on it as well.
Oh, the 93?
Yeah.
Yeah, jeez.
Serge Zwicker.
Yep, Serge
Jerry
Zwicker.
Stackhouse was a freshman. Rasheed Wallace was a freshman. Dante Calabria. Donald Williams was the guy. He ended up being the hero of that game, I think. Jeff McGinnis. I feel like he played in the...
He was a little guy.
Yeah, 6'3". And then Montross.
So, you know what's so funny about all that is those are the years that I would get college basketball magazines, and they would have little things about the top 50 basketball players. They would have like a couple paragraphs about each one, and then they would list the top 100 or 200. So I heard of all, like I knew those names before I even knew anything about them. I knew about them the summer before their senior years of high school. I had heard every single one of those guys. All those guys were super highly ranked high school players. I remember hearing Rasheed Wallace's name and all of them. I didn't know what they looked like. I knew their names. Same thing with Chris Collins was in there with that.
Yeah.
And he ended up going to Duke. Another head coach at Northwestern, Doug Collins' son. There's so many. The very first year, Alonzo Mourning was the first one. I remember hearing Alonzo Mourning's, reading about him. I had no idea who he was.
Yep.
He was the absolute stud and he ended up being a good NBA
player. That was, you look at that draft class, and it's supposed to be like one of the best draft classes ever. At Shaq, Christian Laettner, and Mourning. I think it was Shaq was the 1, Mourning was 2, and Laettner was 3.
So that would have been 92. What year was that?
91. The draft of 91.
Did Shaq stay 4 years at LSU?
No, I think he was probably there 2 years.
They were good. He had who was with him? Was that Mahmoud Abdul Rauf?
Stanley Robertson, Chris Robinson. Yeah. Chris. It is Mahmoud Abdul Rauf now. Chris. I just saw an interview with him the other day, and he was talking about specifically that Stanley Robinson was more gifted than Shaquille O'Neal, and that if he would have had the work ethic and the discipline and the mindset, he would have been the best center of all time.
And of course, the Clippers signed him, I think.
The Clippers
he was drafted
him
by the Clippers, so then it all goes to hell.
Yeah.
Just like it always did back then.
Oh, God, what was his name? Chris, man, I can see his Muhammad Abdul Rauf. And he would like he did the free throw thing where you'd like.
What did he do?
man, we'd have to video it. He had a certain routine at the free throw line that I can't think of
Really?
now. But he was talking about Stanley Roberts. He was like, he was like, I remember being in the cafeteria and there was a ball rolling by, and anybody that, any hooper, when a ball rolls by, they grab it. He was like, we were sitting in the cafeteria eating, and he's like, Stanley Roberts is just eating all the food, and the ball goes by, and Stanley doesn't even look up, and like everybody else goes and grabs it. And he's like, I look at Stanley and I say, if you worked hard, if you just came in, you put the effort into it, that you'd be the greatest player ever. And he was like, yeah, Chris, like, that's just not me. And it was like, all right. And then and he was out of the NBA pretty quickly, struggled with a lot of injuries, but you look at the difference between him and Shaquille. They said Chris Robinson, or Chris Robinson, I want to say
Chris Jackson.
Chris Jackson. That's what it is. Chris Jackson.
I just looked it up.
Muhammad Abdul said that even Shaq said that Stanley was a much better player than him.
Oh, that's really
so it's crazy. You think about mindset and how much that is. These guys are the top 5% of athletes in the world, but then what separates them?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just how hard you work.
Yeah.
You got to put into it if you want to get anything out of it, for sure.
That's what blows me away, and this is a switch from college basketball, but Nikola Jokic doesn't care about basketball whatsoever.
Oh, really?
He, did you ever see when he won the championship? They asked him, like, what are you going to, now that you won the championship, what are you going to do? He's like, go home, like, go to my farm. And he's like, this is a job. This is a job just like you go to do your job as a reporter. He was like, this is like what I do to get paid. And there was like, a lot of guys like Michael Jordan or the guys that have been at the top, they love the game.
Like Kobe Bryant, I think of it like that.
Jokic wanted to do this so he could make a lot of money, so he could own farms and literally. And so it's just so crazy to me that he's the best player in the world. And he's not even like he's tall. He's not like athletically gifted. Right. Like he just what makes him the best player in the world. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I don't even know. He's an amazing shooter,
passer.
Yeah, he certainly doesn't look the part.
Doesn't look the part.
Like he's not ripped at all. Who's the other guy kind of like him? A European guy who's just sort of like a bigger kind of.
This is Luka.
That's it. That's it. That's what I was thinking of. It's kind of similar to that, where they're not like.
No, Luka plays a really slow game. Like he's like almost so slow that like he's got good moves,
Yeah, like Nowitzki, but Nowitzki was like looked in really good shape.
Yeah, yeah.
And he played for a long time.
And he was taller too.
Yeah, Dirk was one of those first guys who was just like a really European big who could dribble and shoot and pass and all that stuff. But he wasn't nearly as. I don't think he's as good as Luka and the Joker. Those guys are incredible.
Think about Luka though. He didn't play any defense. He's like a traffic cone.
Okay, but if you look at his stats on anybody who's ever played, he's right up there with everybody. It's amazing.
Oh yeah,
like per game stuff, and even like almost career now. It's like crazy how high up he is in all the stats. He's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I think that he'll end up doing pretty good in his career. He's stuck with the Lakers, but
yeah, they were just talking about and how what are they doing? They're doing good now. They're kind of really up and down this year, right? Like they've had some really good stretches and really bad stretches and all over the place, right? And Anthony Davis, he got traded to the Wizards and is hurt. No, like who could have saw that coming?
I love there's a meme out there that's like, did you hear Anthony Davis signed his first shoe contract? And it's like a walking boot.
The brow can't stay
the brow.
He just can't stay. Like he was with, like everyone was like, what the hell was it Dallas?
Yeah, Dallas traded him for Luka. They traded Luka for Anthony Davis.
Yeah, like why would you do that?
That guy's fired. He no longer has a job.
That was horrible.
That's crazy. Could you imagine with Dallas having Cooper Flag and Luka Doncic? Yeah. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Two
Is
white
Cooper
guys
Flag good?
Flag is really good. He's kind of like that LeBron where he's not just hype. Everybody was hyping him up for a really long time. And
like in high school. Yeah, most of those guys end up being good.
He's a star player at 19 years old on his team, and he's rookie year averaging 20.2 points a game, 6.6 rebounds, 4.5 assists.
Wow, 4.5 assists is impressive.
Shooting 47% from the field.
How much from three? That's a big deal.
29.
You know what's funny is if you look back at stats from like the early and even late 80s and stuff, no one ever shot threes ever. Like
No.
it was a super rare thing. Dale Ellis, who he'd be like, he was like the only one to shoot threes. It was very strange.
And how many did he shoot a game? Like 3?
Very many. It was just not, and for a long time, the 3-point line was there. I think even in like 78, 79, it started. And even by like 89, no one was shooting threes. Like you watch an NBA game like on YouTube from like 89, 90, 91, no one's shooting threes.
No.
Like, no, like now they just stand around the outside and it's just so different because to me, it was all because of the Golden State and
Steph Curry.
just because. Yeah, they were so good. No.
So Dale Ellis shot 3.5 3-pointers a game.
And that was like way more than anybody else.
He shot 40%. Like if you look at the guy, like he, the only reason there was never a Steph Curry before is because nobody had the balls to just go do it. Like Steph Curry is like, I'm going to do it, and he put the work in, obviously.
Just amazing. Dude.
But then people watch it, and he's such a good showman. And I remember, like from a coaching standpoint, like coaching 5th and 6th graders as Steph Curry is blowing up and everybody wants to be Steph Curry. Everybody's shooting. All these little kids, they can't shoot a 3 or trying to shoot threes. And it's like,
that's
but
the problem.
But you see how it inspired and gave all these guys. And now you look at it and you see guys like Duncan Robinson, who could probably, would probably have not stuck around in the NBA
for sure,
because he would have never got the shots.
Yeah.
You look at guys like the guy that played at Duke, Jack Gorky.
Oh, I don't even know that name.
Not Duke. Did I say Duke?
Yeah.
I meant Oakland.
Yeah.
They beat Kentucky, I want to say, a couple years ago.
He had that big game against Kentucky.
Yeah. So, but he ended up getting. I think he's playing in the G League. He would have never gotten a G League chance. He would have never gotten a pro chance, except for now it's valuable. You can be a short white guy if you can shoot a 3 because that's all that you really need. The NBA's got this spacing game that you don't really have to do much else. If you can knock down a 3.
But that takes a lot of work to be good at shooting threes. That's far. Yeah. That is such a far shot. Yeah, I know. But yeah, that is a long way. Remember in the early 90s, there was no, like the scoring average was like in the 70s in the NBA. And so they didn't know what to do. So they brought in the 3-point line. Do you remember this? They brought it in for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then,
and now it's out.
Is it farther out than it was back in like the 80s and like all that? I wonder.
That's a good question.
Because does it still like on the sideline, it like cuts.
Yeah, it's very narrow.
Yeah, like where it cuts in. It's not a perfect half circle because they have to shorten it because it runs out of space on the court.
Yeah.
And like that's how it was back in the day. If it's still that way, I bet it's back to like the same distance. It might even be. And now they pulled back the college one. The college one's farther out than it used to be.
Yeah.
Because it used to be right at the top of the key. And now it's pulled back. In high school, I think it's, at least for girls, it's still at the top of the key. I went to a girls' game. I can't remember. Boys, it might be back a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, evolutionary thing was the 3-point. Everyone started using the thing that's been there forever.
Well, and I guess I could see why coaches didn't want you doing it because then it opens up the can of worms of everybody's doing it. And you could definitely lose games if you're not shooting, if you're not on.
Yeah, it's funny listening to broadcasters back in the day. Oh my God, he's shooting! What is he shooting at the ring for?
Yeah,
no one was good at it. Like literally, people were like 12, 15% shooting threes. They'd be like 1 of 9, on the whole year, the whole season.
Yeah,
like it just didn't happen until except for really rare circumstances.
Well, so there's a crazy stat when I think Reggie Miller retired. He was the #1 career 3-point shooter, and now he's like 19th.
I'm surprised he's that high, but yeah, Reggie, that's a good one. Reggie was a 3 shooter.
And Reggie, if he would have been given the green light to shoot as many as we do now, if it would have been designed in the way the game is played now, he would be right up there with Steph Curry.
Yeah, he was good. Cheryl's brother. What's that from anyway?
So he literally, Cheryl Miller was a star basketball player.
Right.
So I want to say he scored like 60. He had a big game, and he came home and he was all excited. And his sister put a 110-point game up. It's like she broke the record for.
Yeah, I think they went to different colleges. I think she went to USC.
I think so. And then
back when UCLA wasn't even that good. UCLA in the 80s wasn't really that good. That's when he was there.
So
I like Reggie though.
Man, I remember watching that Nick game when he had the scoring explosion in the last few seconds of the game
with Spike Lee. Oh,
with Spike Lee.
Yeah, against John Starks. I
Yep.
remember John Starks.
Anthony Mason.
Yep. Charles Oakley, Patrick Ewing, Anthony. I think Anthony. I don't think he's around anymore. I think he died. Why do I think that?
So, while Reggie became an NBA star, he credits his older sister Cheryl as the superior talent and toughest competitor, noting her dominance in childhood backyard battles, including a famous 105-point game she scored in high school.
That's something. Bam scored 83 points.
Oh, that's another thing in what we're watching. 83 points. I can't believe that. I remember texting you like.
Did you see his little card he wrote with 83? Just like Wilt Chamberlain did the 100.
Yeah.
That's so weird that Wilt got exactly 100 points. Did you know there's no footage of that game?
Yeah.
And for some reason they played in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Why the hell did they play in Hershey?
They play in Hershey?
I don't know, but they did. And it's like, why did they play there? And there's no footage of that game at all. Like it wasn't. Nobody was there with any sort of device to record it. I think maybe there might be a radio thing of it. I'm not
I
sure.
think there's a radio thing, but that's insane.
Sports was such not a big deal.
It really wasn't.
And I was watching some old footage of the World Series in '65 or something the other day, and I'm like, well, no wonder it's not a big deal. This footage is not visually pleasing. Like it's grainy, and I bet it was maybe slightly better in real time, but it probably wasn't that much better than what I'm watching on YouTube. It's probably a little better, and it was bad angles, and you're far away and you can't see the players, and it's black and white. No, and now it's so beautiful. Like you're watching sports, it's just like everything's absolutely perfect. No wonder it's such a big deal, and no wonder people spend so much money on TVs and going to games and everything. It's because it's just so nice to watch sports now, and that's why there's so much money in the game. That's why the players make so much money. That's why people want to be in sports so much more, and it's such a big deal. Because back when we were younger, it was. Yeah, I mean, there were sports and it was cool and everything, but it wasn't that huge of a deal. But now it's the watching is so much better in every aspect. And if you go to a game, everything's so much nicer and better, and the seats are nice and all that stuff. Back in the day,
no,
it was very second rate. I heard that the 1979 championship game was on tape delay, the Magic Bird.
Yeah.
It was on after the 11 o'clock news.
Yeah.
Like
isn't that crazy? The biggest game in college basketball history, really. Yeah. That was the biggest game because it turned around not only college basketball, but it turned around the NBA. The NBA,
everything
was a struggling sport. They were going out of business. They were a bankrupt business.
Yeah. And I don't know about the NFL in the 40s and 50s. There was teams that would go bankrupt, but they just wouldn't have enough player. They wouldn't have enough money, because TV wasn't invented yet, and the people weren't going to the games, and they didn't have enough. They couldn't make payroll and stuff like that. But now it's all so much better.
It's all different. And so marketing, you look at that time then, and you have the Larry Bird, the Great White Hope, and then you have a guy named Magic. That's pretty marketable. A 6'9" point guard.
Yeah.
I mean, that's man, talk about bringing in saviors for basketball. To have this guy, 6'10" white guy that can shoot the lights out, and a 6'9", guy that can pass and run and do all the things. He could literally do all the things. He played center on that team
in 80.
In his rookie year.
Yeah.
They could put him anywhere.
Yeah.
I remember when he made his comeback after the HIV, and he played power forward a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. If you watch old clips of him, and keep talking about that, but all the other players are okay, these guys they're not nearly as good as the guys nowadays. And then there's Magic. Magic is so good even back then. He was so much better than everybody else. It's insane. When he was at Michigan State, watching him play.
Yeah.
It's just wow. The way his passes, no one was doing all that stuff. No one still can pass the way and he was tall too. And he was just excellent at everything. He was always my favorite player.
Yeah, I've always loved the big point guard, and obviously been a huge State fan most of my life. And watching Michigan, I've always hated Michigan, but I always loved Jalen Rose. Being a big point guard, I loved his attitude. That was Even though I hated Michigan, I still kind of rooted for the Fab Five.
Jalen was always laughing, smiling. I think I have a memory of him like getting a technical and all he was doing was smiling. How can you give me a technical? I was just laughing, smiling. Nothing wrong with that. Weber was kind of like that too, where, they were just so confident and because they were freaking good.
Yep.
That's another guy who was, I remember when he was like a freshman in high school, Weber was like, everybody knew who he was. And he was just like so good compared to everybody else.
Some of these guys, like he looked like a grown man, like by
Weber,
freshman. Like him and Jalen Duren are a lot alike to me.
Yeah, that's a good comp. Yeah, that is pretty good.
Jalen Duren is growing into it. I think Chris Webber was better earlier. But that said, Jalen Duren did skip his senior year of high school and go straight to, like he was playing as a freshman in college. What should have been his senior year in high school.
Okay. Oh yeah, where'd he go? Oh, he went to Memphis. Is that right?
He went to Memphis. Yeah. Him and Amani Bates.
Oh really? They played together.
So they both skipped their senior year of high school and played college ball together. It went really well for Jalen, not so well for Amani.
Speaking of like how I was talking about the best teams I've ever seen, here's another unpopular opinion. I believe, was it the 0102 or 0203? Those Sacramento Kings teams were freaking amazing.
Yes.
And they were so fun to watch. They had Jason Williams,
White Chocolate,
and Mike Bibby. Mateen Cleaves was on one of them. He didn't really play that much, but Doug Christie, who's kind of a weirdo, but he was.
Who's he coaching now?
Is he? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I thought I saw him.
I just remember something about his wife and the crowd, and he would have to she made him wave to him or something. I don't know. But yeah, what year was that where they went all the way to the Lakers and there was all this controversy because every single call towards the end was going towards the Lakers?
Yeah.
Do you remember hearing about this?
Yep.
I remember where I was at. Have you ever been in Mount Pleasant at what's the bar there? The Wayside.
Wayside, yeah.
I was at the Wayside watching, and no one else gave a crap. But I'm watch. Oh my god, because I was a big Kings fan all the time for some reason when I was a kid. Because they just seemed so obscure because we never got to watch them on TV or anything.
Yeah,
they were way out. They sucked and they were in the West, so you never saw them. But I'm trying to think. I think it was 01, whatever year they went all the way to the final, or it wouldn't be the finals, but
Western Conference, yeah.
And they lost to the Lakers. They lost the Western Conference semis, the Lakers in 01. 02, they went to the Western Conference Finals. Yes, it was 02.
Yeah.
That team was freaking amazing. They went 61 and 21. Yeah. The Lakers had Kobe and Shaq, so they wanted them to win.
For sure.
Peja Stojakovic, his son, is playing somewhere in college. Yeah. Oh, Illinois.
Illinois, yeah.
Because I remember being his name's Stojakovic, and he looks just like Stojakovic.
Yeah.
It's got to be his. And then they showed him in the crowd. But yeah, Chris Webber, Peja Stojakovic, Doug Christie, Mike Bibby, Vlade Divac, Hito Turkoglu, Bobby Jackson.
Ugliest man in the NBA.
The what?
Ugliest man in the NBA. Hito Turkoglu.
He had a face for radio.
Him and Tyrone Hill. Monsters. Tyrone Hill played for the Cavaliers. He also played for the 76ers, who also made it to the finals in 2001.
Mateen Cleaves played for 32 games on that team.
What were his stats?
He shot